What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 139 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo, joined by the greatest co-host in all... It cut out again, didn't it?
Every single time.
What the f...
If We Ran Nintendo.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to episode 139 of If We Ran Nintendo. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by the greatest co-host in all the land, Mr. Sean Capri.
Bobby, I ate all my feelings this evening.
Well, sorry. Listen, this is great. You would think that, yeah, you know what's crazy? I got every single one of those tapes dead on.
Yeah.
Didn't mess up once.
Yeah.
Normally, I'm like all over the place,
Yeah,
stuttering, stammering. Good stuff.
You're good, man.
So how you doing, man? You all right?
I'm okay. I had a week. You know, and you and I have been talking as we record this. We've been talking for about an hour. You know, just catching up like good old buddies do every once in a while. But we don't put it into the podcast. We don't want to fluff out the beginning with like a bunch of nonsense. So we get all that stuff out of the way, and then we start hitting record, and it's real business. Todd Oxtra.
Yeah.
Okay, so but I left this part out. Coming on home, I had to pick up the dry cleaning and do a couple things, and all of a sudden I had to. My dry cleaners is over at right by 7-Eleven, and I'm like, you know what, man, it's been a rough couple days. I'm just gonna go into 7-Eleven and just see what tickles my fancy. I grabbed a whole big bag of Super Nibs. I grabbed a king size Snicker with hazelnuts, and I grabbed a king sized. Hershey, I have this cookies and cream, those big Hershey like
what
white.
Are you doing?
I ate them all, dude. I ate like in the car. I was just like,
I like it.
Everything
why?
but tears.
I thought I was the only fat bastard.
Oh my god! Like, look at my cheeks are just like, look at all the candy you ate. Like, I can't even when I get this kind of shine on my cheeks, is because like this is my fat shine, where my cheeks start to sweat a little bit.
It's all right. Don't worry. I still love it.
I'm
And
gonna
if
go back
Chelsea
tomorrow.
leaves you because you get too fat, I'm with you.
Dude,
You just come to
I'm
Jersey.
coming on over. You don't have to. You don't even have to offer. I've already got the plans. I still got your address in my Uber account.
There you go, man. There you go. So, Sean, let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our shout-outs.
Yes. Oh my God, Bobby, I'm so geeking out about. Did you hear that Endgame is like 17 hours long? Oh my gosh, it's like Lord of the Rings extended edition, but with Marvel characters. Oh boy.
Listen,
Okay, I am listening.
I got two shout-outs.
Two. Okay.
I mean,
I don't
do
know.
you
I
have
gotta
one?
make it up. I gotta make it up.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, here we go. First one's Randy Pearson, good friend of mine.
That's a good
that
one.
I went to school with, and he actually moved to Philadelphia not that long ago, and he's running for mayor of Philadelphia. So I just wanted to give a little shout
Get
out.
out of here! Are you serious?
Yeah, man. Yeah. His real name is Randall Pearson. He's a good dude, and I just wanted to give him a
Damn!
shout.
Let's start running some like political ads at the start of the show. I feel like you're joking. Are you serious?
Well, you could I mean, you could follow his campaign if you want to, even
You're
from
giggling
Canada.
over here.
It's called This Is Us. Just check it out every
Oh
single
my
week.
God!
It's just-
I had no idea, you son of a bitch. Oh, it's been a while. That's a while.
It's been a while. That's why
that's
I
a
was
good
like,
one.
I gotta pull this back out.
That's a good one.
It's been a while. Actually, what happened was last week I started watching the show again to get caught up, and I was like, "Oh, Randall's running for mayor of Philadelphia, or not mayor, but he's running for councilman in Philadelphia." I'm like, "I'm gonna use this kid Sean." So I changed the name to Randy Pearson because I was like, "You might not pick up on that one."
I don't know any of it. I don't know any of it,
But I
dude.
think I used Randall's name earlier in an
Oh
earlier
my
episode. That's
God,
why.
that is
anyway,
so funny.
My
dude.
real shout out is
Oh,
to
God.
Mr. James Johnson, Dr. Doom.
Oh, Dr. Doom, 9
I just want to give a little shout out to my boy. Well, I haven't talked to James in a while.
He streams over at
and-
twitch.tv/jamscams. I always go say hi, man. Yeah, it's a good,
He does.
especially on the weekends.
Weekends are big time for him. He streamed all of Kingdom Hearts. I jumped in there to one Sunday. He was streaming for hours. He has a nice little packed house over there. Good people,
I know.
man. Really cool, man. I love you, Jams. I just wanted to...
I love you too, Jams. We touched.
You got anything, or...
I want to do... I actually have a couple. Number one, Nick Militia from Next Level Games.
Okay.
Like for the very first time, taking a vacation, and like the first time in like 20-something years.
Yeah.
So I saw he's closing down the store. It's got to be a difficult decision to do, but like a little R&R man. I was thinking of you. Also, the reason I was thinking about him is because shout out to me, Sean Capri. I'm going to be on Nintendo Talk Live in the past when people hear this. But you posted a picture of all of us together, the three of us together at Next Level Games, and I just like, man, that guy is tall, and he's a tall glass of water. He's a good hugger. And I really like that boy.
You got room to talk about tall.
He's tall, dude. Look at him next to me.
Yeah, that's true. And you're tall.
He's like double your size. You're like a garden gnome over there. You're like you and Rybo. That's why you guys connect so well, man.
Wow. Okay, I see how it is.
Yep. And I don't know if Andrew Semichek listens to this, but I just wanted to reach out to Andrew Semichek and just let him know that I care about him.
Nice.
No reason I want to say out here, but just hope you're doing okay, my friend.
I got. You know what? Let me jump on that Andrew Semichek.
Yeah, man, he's a good guy.
Straight up, If We Ran Nintendo would not be what it was if it wasn't for Weed and Nerdy.
That's true.
Because when we first started out, we were just lowly podcasters doing our thing. You were over there writing articles and all that.
Mm-hmm.
He let us actually post our stuff over there every single week.
I know.
Killed him.
I'll never be able to pay back what he's done for me. One time I did send him an entire Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles released like all the episodes of the first run of the TV show, and it was like a box set that came in the turtle van, and I sent that over to him. It cost me like $75 to ship it over the friggin' wall, because you got to like
just waited.
No, man.
Just wait until you came here and just dropped
the funny thing is, it would have been by Philadelphia, so I could have just given it to Randall. You could have given it to your buddy.
Yeah, your buddy Randall Pearson. He could have took it over there.
Oh my! I should have known something was up, man.
Andrew, make sure you're voting for Randall Pearson.
As soon as you started giggling for no reason, I'm like, this has got to be this is us. Son of a gun.
This week, Sean, I want to start something new. New tradition. New little segment we're going to do. It's not going to be every single week.
Okay.
It'll be only when things get dropped in our laps. But I wanted to start reaching out and kind of branching out a little bit with the show.
Yep.
And doing stuff. Basically, we're going to call this the Shout Out Showcase. And what I want to do is I want to showcase a game every time, like there's a news, like a PR, if I get a PR newsletter or I get an email from a different indie developer or whatever, because I do get them all the time. And I just thought, you know what, this is a nice way to kind of showcase, talk about games. I don't always get to do reviews for every code I get. Sometimes they just send me an email with a code in it. And I'm like, well, I should do some type of coverage.
Yeah, man.
So I wanted to reach out and talk about this one company that reached out to me this week. Tiki Pod is the name of the company. The game is actually called Iron Cryptic. So just a quick breakdown of what the game is. It's a fun arcade twin-stick dungeon shooter with RPG element. It's like Smash TV mixed with Bubble Bobble's cryptic item collection, placed within a medieval ghost and goblin style setting. A mysterious, malevolent force appears to have abducted Cristonia's princess, along with the king's royal gold treasures, shaped curiously like large foodstuffs. So all the gold. The washed-up Kingsguard must leap into action and plunge down into the magical crypts. So what I like about this top-down feels a lot like Gauntlet. I don't know if you remember Smash TV from the arcade.
Yeah, man.
Back in the 80s. Which was two sticks. One stick basically controlled the character. The other stick controlled where you were shooting. But it's also, the character design feels a lot like Ghosts and Goblins. So I got to spend about an hour playing it this week, just checking it out, testing it out. It allows for 4-player co-op, local co-op, which makes me feel like, it made me feel like a lot like going from back. You're going from dungeon to dungeon. It has a nice fluid ramp-ups, in terms of like difficulty. Like it doesn't start off hard. As you're going through and you're getting further and further and further, it slowly starts to ramp up, has different difficulty settings. But man, it is such a good game. I believe it launches, it should launch next week if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, actually the 13th of February.
Oh, nice.
So next week it should launch. I don't know the price of it. That I don't know. I believe it's like $10, if I'm not mistaken.
No brainer.
I could be wrong. It's seriously, it is. It's a no brainer perk. If you're watching the YouTube version of this right now, there's just gameplay footage running over top of what you're seeing right now. But it is so good. I want to thank, if I want to thank Duggan Jackson. I believe I said your name right. But he reached out this week, gave me a code for checked it out. I streamed it over on Twitch. Do yourself a favor. At least go check out whatever. Like if you come check out the gameplay footage on this video. If you're listening to this, or go search the trailer. Do something. I'm going to have some information in the show notes that you guys can go find this information pretty readily available. Really good. It's a lot of fun. I enjoyed my time. So, and I still have a lot to play. I'm not even. It was a blast. So
sweet, man. You put the Twitch link in the show notes. Your twitch.tv/.
I do.
Okay, because that's easier to click on that than to say it.
Yeah, I know it's a pain in the
God damn.
It's not my fault, man. I tried to change it.
I understand.
Some idiot that doesn't even have a page used in Nintendo Guru and one of my. So
gotta send the ninjas after him.
One day. The same thing with Twitter. I had someone that has the name Nintendo Guru, and the account's deactivated for spam.
Oh,
and
really? Oh my god!
I can't even negotiate to try to buy the thing off of them because of the fact that account and Twitter won't talk about it. They're like, no, Dad, we're not talking about it.
Ah, son of a gun.
So
it's cool that you know what, man. That's awesome. I like this new segment because we need something. We need a guru to let us know the games that we don't know about. Anybody else can talk about all the big games. That's one thing. But they find those little like hidden gems. It's like we talk about all the time. The eShop games, so hard to find. They're really good ones. So that's why people can tune into.
This is a good one. Seriously, cool. It reminds me a little bit of Binding of Isaac.
Okay.
In terms of like twin stick shooter, you're going from dungeon to dungeon, from room to room, but this one's kind of cool because it gives you a map.
Yep.
And the map lays out before you go into the battle. So you go into the battle and you're fighting, and then when you get done, there's like 1 or 2 or 3 doors open.
Yeah.
And you pick where you want to go. Well, you have to pick based upon the map you just. So, and then when you go through the doors, pops the map open again, shows you where you are, shows you where you could go in the future, and then boom, you go again and play. It's really a lot of fun.
Nice, man.
These guys, Aqua Kitty UDX.
That's
I don't know
awesome.
if you remember that.
Yep, yeah, man.
It was a good game. So let's support them if we can. If you get a chance, go check it out. I don't think anybody will doubt it or be disappointed with the game. Check it out. So Sean.
Yeah, Bobby.
If we ran Xbox, let's get into this. If we
ran, well, we should first talk about totally sidetrack new rumor. Or actually, if we ran Nintendo, we would just have a new Direct next week. Rumor confirmed because we ran Nintendo. It's definitely happening, everybody. So confirmed right here first. It's not even a rumor anymore. Sean and Bobby confirmed it. Yeah, really? Are people? Can we just? Did you hear about this? Did you hear about the news?
I did hear about it.
Are we really running these rumors? Can we just not do like what is right and just like not perpetuate the rumors? Although maybe I should just.
That's what I think. Honestly,
I should just shut up right now.
I really think what Nintendo should do is wait a couple days. Like let the rumors come out.
Yeah.
Wait 2 days and then go. We are not having a Direct.
You know what, man? Okay, so in all seriousness, you remember it was probably episodes at least like 1 through maybe 5. In one of those episodes, we talked about how do we fix a leaky ship. Do you remember that?
Yep, we did. Yep,
It was one of the very first episodes we ever did, and like I feel like the leaky ship is back because there's a ton of interest. People are talking. Nintendo is growing. There's a lot of people chatting. Everybody's uncle works over at Nintendo, and like all these rumors are coming out. I bet there probably some of them are maybe true. I bet there was maybe some intent that there was going to be something, or at least maybe they're exploring the opportunity. And maybe Nintendo is going just like, you know what? You guys ruined it. You ruined Christmas. You opened up your presents too much. You cracked it open a little bit. Maybe we're ruining it.
I've been on record to saying this a couple times. Different various podcasts. I definitely, the last time I said it was on Planet Nintendo. But the one thing I said was, it's pretty bad when investors are at an investor meeting and they're actually going to Furukawa and they're going like, hey man, have you guys abandoned the way you announce stuff? Because they're reading the leaks and the rumors and they're going like, oh, wait a minute. They're not putting it out. And these guys said they're going to be a Direct next week. And it's like, they're not, like, why are we listening to
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. That's the Twitter world now. Anyway.
It's
I just can't believe after last month happened that anybody's reporting on any rumor at all. But I mean, you got to get those clicks.
Well, and that's the thing. This is the thing that drives me
I guess
crazy.
we're sort of reporting on the rumor now as well, but we're sort of calling it out.
But we're not saying like I think what we're reporting on is the fact of it's ridiculous that we're in this situation right now.
It really is.
What I want to say,
just wait till it's confirmed, everybody.
Yeah, what I want to say is that if people are telling you right now that the rumor if they're perpetuating the rumor and they're going next week, just unfollow them. Just unfollow them.
Yeah.
These are the same people that sat there all last month and every other week. Well, every week. The next week they were promising you that you were going to get a direct, and it didn't happen. Just unfollow them. They're not worthy of your time. They're garbage. Straight up. And I'm just telling you that. Like, you can believe me, you cannot. I'm just telling you, from my perspective, only thing they're doing is causing you to get mad and get upset. Just click unfollow, walk away from them. They're not that important.
The problem is, at this point, at this stage, eventually they're going to be right.
Well, yeah.
Eventually they'll be like February, but you know what? There's a news source for March. Like February will go by, no direct, and March will be like, it's definitely happened in March. And they're like, see, it totally happened. Like, that's, I don't know, it's kind of nonsense.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So anyway,
all right.
Back to what we're talking about. So
all right, Todd Oxtra, here we go. 20 minutes in.
About Sean running Xbox.
Yeah. Hi.
So now let's jump into where we're at here, Sean, where I was joking about, like, if we ran Xbox.
Yeah.
So if we ran Nintendo, what does Xbox Live coming to Nintendo Switch mean for us if we're running Nintendo? This week there was the talk that Microsoft wants to bring Xbox Live to Apple, to Android, to Nintendo Switch. So what I want to know is, like, how far do we allow a company to invade us? How far do we take what they give and maybe add our own spice and give back to them? Like, where do we take all this? And that's basically the reason why this topic really interests me is I'm the Nintendo guy. You love Xbox. So it's kind of like we should have all bases covered here on this one. So,
well, I feel like in a way, like, Nintendo's kind of been asking for this, like, just by not creating their own really solid system. No achievements, no party chat, like, none of the things that we've come to expect from the other platforms. It's like, this was almost bound to happen. Yeah. And it's just like, it's the two kind of situations colliding where Nintendo has not capitalized on this being a demand from gamers, and Xbox being kind of like losing and just like trying to proliferate their platform and what they're good at across anything that's even open to it. So with iPhone and with iOS, it's interesting because I think it's a similar model that they're kind of invading over there, where they tried to do a little something with Game Center, if you remember Game Center, for God's sakes. Didn't do anything. Like, it wasn't useful, it wasn't integral to the experience at all. And Google is just no holds barred. You can do whatever the hell you want over there. So it seems like those are an easy thing to just move into. There's a ton of devices out there. Why wouldn't you want to at least have an Xbox presence where it seemed like anybody can make anything on any of these devices? The Nintendo thing is super interesting to me, though, is because of how controlling they've been. I'm Todd Oxtra. You'd be lucky to, or you'd be maybe smiling to know that I'm 80% through Console Wars. I'm getting through it, man. So I'm reminding. It's funny this topic comes up now because I'm getting back into the whole like inner workings of how deals get like maybe thought up of and then dropped, and how much control Nintendo has, and how that's actually behooved them in the past. So, man, I don't know exactly what to make of this, other than to say that there is precedent already. We have to recall that Minecraft is a thing that operates on Xbox Live. So when Rybo's playing, or when you're playing Minecraft on your Switch, I can see you on my Xbox Live, and that's super interesting. It allows for crossplay. It allows for a lot of different things. So I feel like you and I talked about this when that first happened, and I said it was a mistake. Even as the Xbox person, I said Nintendo, or maybe that might have been Jason Lacey I said that to.
Probably.
That might have been Jason Lacey. I think that I thought that was a mistake from the beginning.
That was before my time.
It was before it was in your middle time.
That was before I came back.
So again, I'll just sort of like reiterate that and throw it back to you. Like, I thought it was a mistake from that very first time. Like, that was just the crack. I even called it back then. That was just the first thing, and then obviously they're looking to blow this thing wide open. So, but I don't know. Let's use that as an example, because I want to like base this in reality somewhat. Has that come to be a negative thing for Nintendo in the least to have an Xbox presence on Nintendo? Is that like,
no way.
Yeah,
because I feel like, so for me, and this is funny because Joe after work reminded me the other day.
So handsome.
We talked about this. And he reminded me that a year ago, I called this. A year ago, I said that Xbox would basically start to move into almost a Windows company.
Yep.
Where, Microsoft does Windows and, and basically just set it all up and stuff. And I feel like that's where Microsoft is really heading, because you guys talked about this week where Phil Spencer only answers to the head guy at Microsoft, and they work very closely together. And I think that guy coming from a different perspective of Microsoft and Phil Spencer coming from where he comes from, I think he's just going to him and going like, look it, over here on computers, we don't mess with the hard drive. We just sell software.
Yep.
That's all we do is we push software, and we're juggernauts. And I think they look at Xbox and they go, you're struggling a little bit, and this Play Anywhere thing is starting to work for you guys. And just go. And I think the I believe they call it the Lipman's test.
Yeah.
The
Lipton's test, like the soup?
No, the Lipman's test.
Oh.
Litmus test.
Litmus
Test, whatever. You know me,
I got
dude.
you. I'm just saving you a little hate.
Like preference. You're going preferences.
Preference it. Amazing.
So the thing is that like I believe that Minecraft was the original gauge for all of this. If anybody can think back and remember when Microsoft bought Minecraft, everybody, myself included, man, was like, this is it. It's done. It's going to be a Microsoft exclusive. They're not going to take it no place else. And then very quickly we realized we were all wrong.
Yeah.
That they were going to use this game to leave it where it is, and they are going to make bank off of it. And that's exactly what they did. And they're making money hand over fist with Minecraft, just staying where it is. They still haven't come out of the Minecraft 2, which everybody swore up and down was going to happen. That would be Xbox exclusive. And it's like, man, whenever Minecraft 2 does eventually hit, that's it. It's going to go everywhere. They're not going to keep it in one place. So that's what I feel like. I feel like Minecraft was the test to see where it goes. Now, what I saw when I started to play Minecraft with the Xbox Live integration, first off, I was like, this is straight up Xbox Live.
Right.
Like, the sounds, the achievements going off, like they're popping, and it's like, oh.
What about gameplay captures too? So the thing that so as I said it was a mistake, but as a gamer, I kind of am really, this is maybe the closest we're going to get to like a single video game, like a shared universe. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say like where people want either Nintendo to stop making consoles and just go third party, or they want like Xbox just to either do the same, like that there's going to be one console in the future. That's definitely not going to happen. Google is coming in, and all these other things are happening. But like maybe the underlying infrastructure, the thing that connects us all together, maybe that is governed and created by one entity, and Xbox has to be the one to do it. Like of all of them, they're the only one even close to doing that. So the
thing is they do what they do very good. With the online infrastructure, they have that down. So my thing is I think Nintendo at this point is probably sitting back and looking at this as a test as well, to go like, okay, let's see what this does for us.
Well, it addresses probably one of their, right now with the Switch, probably their only shortcoming. They're killing it with everything else. Like power doesn't matter like it used to. And PlayStation is the number one dog, even though like Nintendo's having a banner year, or last year was a banner year. But PlayStation could, like, if they have this, what they're rumoring to have, PlayStation 5 can play all the games from PS4, 3, 2, and 1, then I would anticipate the PS5 is just going to be an absolute juggernaut. So Nintendo needs all the help it can get to try and kind of like make up for its own shortcomings. And they've been very open about like what games and what experiences you can get on your Switch. So I don't know, man. I just don't know what Nintendo. So like as a gamer, I like it. So maybe it's Nintendo just trying to be open to new ideas and trying to be like at the forefront of stuff. That sounds a little weird. It doesn't sound quite about right. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around like what exactly does Nintendo get out of having a Microsoft presence on their console?
So here's my question to you. In what you've read, what exactly is Microsoft proposing by doing this Xbox Live? Is it just Xbox Live?
Yeah.
Or is it games as well?
From right now, it seems like it's just Xbox Live, so that there's an integration potentially with achievements. Now, it's going to be, this is all coming out of a bit of a leak. So, GDC, Game Developers Conference, they have all these sessions and seminars that they're all the people who make all the games and stuff are telling them how they do all their tricks. It's kind of like an inside baseball kind of conference of just. So word gets out that there's a session about Xbox putting Xbox Live on all these different devices, including Nintendo Switch. So that session hasn't happened yet. So it'd be very interesting to see kind of like exactly what they mean. But, you know, people read the headline and started thinking like we're going to be playing Halo Master Chief Collection on our Nintendo Switch. I think that's the long game. I really do think that that like Game Pass or whatever is going to be that pushes things out, or Project xCloud or whatever it is, that's the long game. But and then maybe that's the plus for the Switch. Well, because it expands the Switch library with games that they don't have to like create. I guess I don't know. It's so interesting.
Okay, so here's the thing. Because to me, that has to be the long game. Because what's the point of bringing Xbox Live over to Nintendo? There's nothing to gain by bringing Xbox Live over, other than achievements.
For who? For who's not to gain? Because it depends on who you're talking.
For Nintendo. For Nintendo, because the only thing is bringing to Nintendo in that realm. If it's just Xbox Live, the only thing you're bringing, like,
well, they make the party chat, man. It's not like making a party chat and getting all the way you interact with all your friends.
Is that what? So that's what I was asking.
I'm sorry. That's what I. Okay, so I think there's things that we can safely assume. Where your friends list appears, so just like it does now, Ribo's playing on his Switch. I see it on my Xbox saying Minecraft on Switch. It all looks the same. All the friends are together, so no matter what system you're on, it's kind of like Skype. It's just like or WhatsApp, essentially.
Okay. That's so basically what would happen is you would have an app that runs on the Switch that is basically a friends list that would allow us to do party chat.
Yep.
But also allow us to play games together. Because you could just kind of jump into games with each other.
I would imagine also, this is might be a bit of a leap. People can let me know in the comments. But I would imagine for the games that exist on both consoles that this would facilitate the crossplay. Because that was one of the big things for Minecraft was that the worlds can exist on either console, but like Xbox Live kind of ties them together.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Because then it becomes very interesting with a game like Fortnite and Warframe and all these other games that are allowing for some type of crossplay. Wargroove allows crossplay too, doesn't it?
It does. And so I wonder if like those are very like there's only a few games that do that, right? Like Rocket League has wanted to do that from day one, and Rocket League is enormous, and Fortnite is enormous. Wargroove, that kind of breaks my logic a little bit here, but I'm wondering if there's a special like expertise that is required for crossplay, which that Xbox being at GDC saying, here's how you do it. We'll give you the tools so that you can, as game developers, you can have as many players as you want connected through Xbox Live. And it doesn't matter what device you're going to go on.
Well, you think about it. If you take what if Xbox does this, right, at GDC, and you take what Xbox is offering, and then you take what Epic Games is offering, because Epic Games is doing the same thing.
Right.
Epic Games is basically putting a folder together with all their information and going, here, take it.
Right.
Here's the model for getting crossplay to happen. Go. And I think we're in a world where the only one, because right now Epic is getting ready to merge accounts on Fortnite.
Right.
Meaning,
it should happen right away, right?
It's very close to happening. I think it'll happen either by the time you guys hear this,
right?
Or within a week or so, it'll be happening. So essentially, what they're basically going to do is they're going to make it where if you bought a skin on the Switch, that skin is now playable over on the PS4, over on the Xbox, over on PC. iPhones, Android phones, wherever you play Fortnite, that skin will then transfer. Your V-Bucks will transfer. Everything will be cross-integrated. Once that happens, that's the final step.
Yep.
Like, that's it. You can already do voice chat between console to console. It's in-game. There is no party chat, but it's in-game, which just begs to be kind of interesting to go, okay, now we have party chat between Xbox Live. I think what happens, honestly, like you're saying that like, PlayStation's winning and doing what they're doing.
I think I say that because I think they're on pace to outsell the PS2 and the Wii. So that's kind of a big deal.
But I also think that the Switch hasn't finished right in the tail that it's got right.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I'm not
the Switch
marginalizing
right now. The
Switch's success
Switch is
as well.
just devastating right now. The Switch is just crushing it on all levels. But I mean, because and for me to say that, they just came out and said last year the Switch outsold everything.
Yeah.
Like all consoles. So the Switch is basically taken off to what it is. So I think you take that, and you take the fact that Microsoft is working with Nintendo as close as they are, and the odd man out in the equation, as always, is PlayStation.
And that was where I was kind of eventually trying to get to with my console wars thing. Is just like, it's interesting what happens of like the top dogs there, and then like the two underdogs will try and come together. It was like Sega and Sony trying to take down Nintendo back then. Yeah. So I mean, I wonder what's going to happen in the future.
It's going to be interesting because because here's what I think.
But what is Nintendo like? I'm still, if we ran Nintendo as a show, why are we wanting this? Why, like, PlayStation has clearly shut the door on this.
Because I think this is what I think. I think when you look at big picture, long haul, if we can get to the point where we can rent servers or let Microsoft run our game servers, right? We pay them a fee, right? We have all these people giving us money, and we go to Microsoft and go, how much money is it to do this? So they go $10 per person.
Sure, yeah.
A month.
Totally made up number.
Well, you're making your money hand over fist, whatever it might be, or $10 a year, whatever it is. You get, as long as it's cheaper than whatever Nintendo's already taking in, then they're making money doing absolutely nothing. Because that's ultimately, like, in the business I'm in, right? We sell aggregate stone. We sell stone to people. Anytime that I can hire the quarry to just, rather than bring the stone to me, to take it directly to a customer, I've made tenfold money. Because it's not my truck. I'm paying the same cost for the stone. Everything's the same. I just made 100% profit on that stone. Or more profit than I would have made. So it's the same philosophy. If Nintendo can deliver a better server system and not have to pay for it and run it out of pocket, then it's better for them. It's free money.
Well, I'll give you an example of like a real world example where it might surprise you that that's exactly what happens, and that's with Apple. Apple iCloud runs off of Microsoft servers.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, what do you mean you guys are in business together? You're trying to murder each other. Like 30 years ago, you know what I mean? Like so maybe this isn't as crazy. I only bring that up to say, like, maybe it's not as crazy as it sounds.
Well, because at the end of the day, this is what it all boils down to. And the funny thing is that I had a conversation with Roger's Base months ago. And at that time, during that conversation, Roger had said, like, hey man, Phil Spencer just tweeted that he was at Nintendo headquarters talking to them. And at the time, everybody thought, "Oh my God, Banjo's coming to," and dummy on us.
Yeah. He doesn't care about Banjo, man. He's talking about like,
Everybody at the time was thinking, "Oh my God, he's talking about Smash." That had nothing to do with that. This is what it boiled down to.
Yeah.
This is just a meeting where he's sitting there going, like, "Hey man, how do we take these guys out? How do we knock Sony off the field? Because we both have an enemy that at one point." I felt Xbox was beating, and then for whatever reason, they just got their nose stomped in this generation, and I didn't see that happen. I figured it
not this way,
not this bad.
Yeah,
I didn't see it this bad. I figured that PlayStation would probably win the big picture, but I don't think anybody saw it being as bad as it is. And especially if you tie in the Wii U to that conversation, like. PlayStation destroyed both consoles. Switch comes in, it's devastating right now, and I think Sony looks at it and goes, Microsoft looks at it and goes, "Hey man, we jump on board now, we go."
Yeah.
So I think what Nintendo does is Nintendo looks at this, to bring it back to the question you're asking. They look big picture.
It must be.
Big picture is A, servers, B, games.
Yeah. They're thinking of expanding. Like, if they just want to make their customer base bigger and they have no way of scaling, I think is probably the thing that's maybe forcing their hand a little bit here. Is like it's kind of like when they went to HD, remember? And they're like, "Oh, this is harder than we thought." Like, now they're launching like online, and they're like, "Oh, son of a gun!" And we're selling 20 million Switches a year. So maybe that's part of it.
Well, the other thing too is like when you think about it, right? How many games have we discussed that are launching multi-platform?
Yep.
And Nintendo's devastating PlayStation and Microsoft at those games. Like every week, there's another indie developer going like, "Dude, we sold 10 times the amount of games on Switch than we did anywhere else." So if Microsoft is sitting there and they're looking at it and going like, "Hey, man, why not throw Forza on the Switch?"
You know what? Well, maybe I think that's further down the road. But
I'm just saying, I'm not talking right now. I'm talking down the line. I'm talking later next generation. So I think within 3 years, this happens. That's my opinion.
And I think that's still beneficial for Nintendo. Like that's the thing is like if Microsoft is going to put their games on Switch, that's actually better for Nintendo.
Yes.
So maybe that's part of it.
Both, because here's Microsoft that'll still sell product,
and
here's
plays
Nintendo.
And it plays on an IBM or it plays on a Compact or HP or like it's the same to the comparison you kind of made before.
You think about it like this, right? I think Microsoft looks at it and goes, "Hey, man, if I can sell Forza a little bit scaled down, you know what I mean? Just because it's not going to run obviously to perfection on the Switch, but it's going to be scaled down a little bit. We could probably pick up a."
Oh my gosh, dude! But it's even though we're talking about far in the future, like that's still like short-term thinking. Like that's still like it's the first step to Microsoft just like running everybody else out of business. Like how do you compete with that when you've got one central company making games and they go on everything? You're just letting them in the back door. This is like the Trojan horse.
But the thing is, but it'll never go down because, granted, they'll make money, but they're still dependent upon Nintendo. Because they need Nintendo's.
That's a good point.
They need Nintendo's hardware in order for it to work. Because if you run Nintendo out of business, now you're losing those sales.
So that's a good point. So I wanted to kind of swoop in the other two, the things that we never like to talk about, the mobile carriers with Google and with Apple. I'm wondering if that was part of the equation that got Nintendo on board as well, where it's essentially like Phil Spencer goes over and says like, look, iOS and Android, they can't even do anything about this because their platforms are so damn open. They're just like, it's happening. So you're either with us on this Xbox Live kind of takeover, or you're going to be kind of crushed by the mobile market like pretty much everybody else is, because there's going to be 2 billion people on Xbox Live. So you guys can go have your fun with your 20 million Switches that are sold or whatever it is that doesn't have access to this great network. And this is where all the gamers are going to be in terms of an online community.
So I thought about this today. Man. I thought about this today, and I'm curious. I'm just going to throw this out there, and you tell me what you think.
Okay, I like it.
Because you see a time or an opportunity where Nintendo kind of takes a percentage, a very small percentage, but a percentage of Mixer, and then they actually put Mixer on the Switch and allow people to stream directly to Mixer.
Yeah, I mean, there's a pretty strong tie-in with Xbox Live and Mixer, so I see what you're saying.
Because I think if you think about it, right, Nintendo has relationships with Twitch, they have relationships with YouTube, but they don't own into any of those two.
Yep.
So if you can get in on the ground floor kind of with a company like Xbox and Microsoft in the Mixer realm.
But why? Like I love and everybody should follow mixer.com/Insipid Ghost.
Because here's the thing, Sean. This is
why
why.
Mixer? Why piss off all your YouTube people and all your like even more
content?
I understand.
It's content. Because here's the thing. You're not going to piss off your YouTube people. You're not going to piss off your Twitch people. What you're going to say is, hey, you can still do your stuff over there. But you know what? This is an easier way for you to do it. Because you think about it. There's people like Luke Lore or other people that stream to Twitch and the Mixer and all that, and it's just easier that way for them because they're going right through the Xbox and it's right in. It just makes it opens it up to more people.
So what you're saying is that nobody's going to basically make that happen for Nintendo. Give them a way in to just like make this easy for people to stream directly to a thing. Then Microsoft's the only one who's going to do that. Like Twitch, do you think Twitch wouldn't do that? Like,
no.
Yeah, I don't know. No, and like Nintendo, Nintendo
because Twitch, so because think about it, Twitch don't need Nintendo.
Yeah, but why?
YouTube, because why? Why do they need them? Everybody's going there as it is.
Yeah, I guess. So I actually like where the because like I question like why like it's probably like not such a great idea, but I think it actually makes a whole lot of sense just with the tie-in. Like Mixer, when you log in with your Microsoft account, when you log in with your Xbox Live account, essentially there are benefits for you. Like it all ties in together. So that actually I could totally see that happen.
I didn't even realize, and this is the cool. Like as a streamer, I think this is the coolest thing ever. So the longer your viewers stay there, they get these lightning bolts, which are like bits on the Twitch side, and they give them to you, and it equates to money. And it's like, just for me watching, they're giving me bits to spend on the, and it's like, this is unbelievable.
That would change the game, dude. That would change the game because it would give Nintendo. Nintendo is for kids first and foremost. Kids and families. It's for like this is everybody's first system is a Nintendo system. Kids first streaming experience, if it's on Mixer, changes everything. Like if that's how, again, it's a Trojan horse. Everybody watches YouTube and they end up on YouTube, but they've got to kind of go through their whole like setup and everything. But if it's built into Nintendo, that's way different than Mixer being built into Xbox. Very different.
Yeah,
I like that's a good point, man. That's something I don't think I've heard anybody even mention.
Yeah. I really believe that, like, as we move forward down the line in the future, this is what you're going to start to see. You're going to start to see these moves happening. Now, I know I have a lot of friends that stream, that do something, and they're going, no way, no way. I got news for you, man. Me as a streamer, I'm looking at it and I'm going, man, if I could basically bring my fan base over to Mixer, right? They could go in and get paid essentially to just watch me and take that money and give it to me or give it to you or give it to Luke or give it to whoever else is over there. Dude, I'll go over to Mixer. I've actually considered going to Mixer. But to me, it kind of feels out of place because I'm a Nintendo guy. And I know that sounds weird, but it just feels a little out of place to me.
But you know what I've always wanted on Switch is if I've always wanted, like, go to my friends list and see Bobby, and I'm like, I always want to know if you're streaming. Like, I always want to, like, if you're playing a game, if you're playing Fortnite, chances are you're streaming. But I don't know that looking at that friends list. No. On Xbox, in case people are just, single console people out there, when you load up your Xbox, if I fire it up right now, guaranteed, it shows a little, like, half the screen is even taken up when it goes idle, and it says, this is what your friends are doing. Chris Berto's streaming on Mixer. Luke Lore is streaming on Mixer. It gives you, like, everything that they're doing.
And then when you're there, you click it and you go watch it.
Can you imagine? Yes, that's exactly my point.
Same thing.
You imagine that on Switch.
So to me, it's because it's very similar like Discord, right? If I'm on Discord and you're streaming,
oh my God,
and you're actually using Discord, like if Discord is open, it shows me Sean Capri's playing, he's streaming. This is what he's streaming. This is how long, and you can actually just click a link and go watch, or you can watch it through Discord.
It's crazy. Okay, so if we're at Nintendo, our choices are let Xbox come in and do this, overhaul like friends list, how everybody interacts and how you see what your friends are doing. You just let that in and they get all this benefit as well that we've just been laying out, or develop it on our own, try and figure out a way to have Twitch integration, YouTube integration. So like what Xbox has done with Mixer and Xbox Live is not proprietary. It's not like you can't copy that.
Yeah.
You should be able to like look at your friend's thing, your profile, and go like, what you can see what they're playing. Why can't I see what they're streaming? Why can't they build that in with the other things? So the choices are do that on our own and don't let Xbox in, or let Xbox in and like they get all that other benefit. Like, what am I missing? Like what?
Nintendo not a tech company.
They're just not capable. Are they just that not capable? They are capable?
Not. Here's the thing that people just don't
Incapable.
get. They look at it and they go, "Oh, the Switch. You see what this thing is? They're amazing." No, they're not. Nvidia came to them.
Yeah, this is crazy.
This is the tech we have. I remember when the N64 was getting announced. At the time, it was the Ultra 64.
Oh yeah.
And Silicon Valley, the Silicon Graphics company, came to Nintendo, shopped them on this new stuff, and like they were like, "This stuff is so cool, we're gonna make Donkey Kong Country with it." And they made these rendered totally polygon graphics, and Nintendo at the time was like, "This is the future. This is what we're doing." And it's like, this is madness, man. To see what they were able to do, it's the same thing. Nintendo is not a tech company. They utilize tech to further their business. But you look at what Nintendo's doing, they're getting further and further away from everything. And what I mean by that is they're getting into movies, they're getting into amusement parks, they're getting into stores, selling merch, all this stuff. This is
it's a different world, man. Holy crap.
Another step for Nintendo to go like, hey, we're not going to go over here. We're going to go over here. And if you have a company coming to you, I'm sure Phil Spencer went in there and said, look, guys, there's no doubt you could do this. You guys got not as much money as we do. You guys got a lot of money in the coffers. You could do this. This is what it's going to cost you. $100 billion or whatever it might be. Or 100 million.
And possibly some reputational risk, too, as they figure it out. Because I think we've seen a couple of those bumps along the road where Nintendo's trying to figure out, I think the Wii U is a good example, going into HD and selling games and doing like the pushing that on. Well, I guess the Wii had the online store first. I just remember a lot more bumps along the road. But Nintendo is just like, if you look at Bethesda, companies cannot afford to take bump after bump after bump. It's just like, it's the death. People are just waiting to dogpile on these companies.
Yeah, man. And I think that Nintendo looks at this and they go, there's no... You get involved in a situation like this. You try it. If it works, it's a home run. If it don't, it costs this company nothing. It doesn't cost Nintendo a dime to do it. So if it works, it's a grand slam. If it don't work, hey, man, we tried. Whatever. We'll just go back to doing what we do. I think the harder sell for Xbox is to Japan. I think the United States would be on board with it and do it, but they don't pull the strings. It's Japan. And I think what Japan is worried about, see, where Xbox benefits from is it's the Trojan horse into Japan. It lets people go like, hey, Nintendo thinks these guys are cool. Let's check out Xbox.
I think the list of benefits for Xbox is endless. Like the list of the things that they benefit from this are endless. And it's probably the flip of a switch for them.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably almost nothing. They've built everything to scale up and to translate over and everything. And it's just like, if you want it, here. That's how... Microsoft is such an interesting company in that way. Like, how do you make trillions and trillions and squillions of dollars on Microsoft Office? Like, Excel, a spreadsheet piece of software, is like the cornerstone of a business. Like, that is...
Yeah, man.
They're a strange company. I don't even try to pretend to understand.
And that's where I feel like they're going to go with gaming. I don't think they care to have an Xbox in the future.
Yeah.
I don't, you know what I mean? In terms of like, they don't care to have, a console.
Well, look what they're buying game studios. They're not buying they're not bolstering, you don't hear them bolstering like the R&D team for the consoles. They're talking about software.
Yeah.
And they're talking about the Azure cloud. Like, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
We can all see where it's going. That's the craziest thing about all this. We can all just watch it unfold. It's kind of like with AI. It's like, well, I guess the robots are going to take over one of these days. No, might as well just keep going with AI then, I guess. Like,
I'm waiting for Arnold Schwarzenegger to come walking in my front door.
Oh my God, dude. It's just, we all know where this is going.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
I agree.
We're all headed to the rapture.
It's exciting for me as a Nintendo fan because... Listen, back in the day, and a lot of people know, they listen to me talk on other podcasts. So I'm hardcore Nintendo. Like, I'll mess with Sony a little bit, although I haven't touched a Sony game in over a year.
Yeah.
Xbox, I bought an Xbox One. First Xbox product I ever bought was an Xbox One S I got for Christmas last year. So for me, it's like I'm slowly weaning into this other stuff. But like for me, if you would have told me 5 years ago that I would be on board with Xbox and Nintendo working together, or Sony and Nintendo working together, I'd have been like, no way, Nintendo all the way, hardcore, we're going to live and die through Nintendo. And now I'm like, I like the idea.
I'm shocked that this is the way this conversation has gone, to be honest with you. Especially the way you phrase it and pitch it at the beginning. It's like, I'm the Xbox guy, and I'm like, what are they doing? And you're like, let's see how this goes. Like, this is... This is very strange. I love this show.
I think it bolsters a lot of what Nintendo needs. I really do believe that it's a win-win for both companies. I really do, because I think that Nintendo needs a solid online infrastructure. I don't think anybody can doubt that. There's not a person here that listens to this podcast that's on the internet that can go, Nintendo has it nailed when it comes to online. They're doing a better job, but it's nowhere near where it needs to be. And you get a company and it's obvious that they're willing to take help, because that was the whole reason they merged with DNA.
That's
DNA was supposed to fix this stuff, you know, and it's like they didn't do a good job with it, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, we're back to friends codes, and it was weird because when you did Mitomo, they were doing.
Oh my God! Of course,
Mitomo was doing Facebook and Twitter, and then now we're back to friends codes. And it was like, how the hell did you go from friends codes to Facebook?
That's
and
the
Twitter
answer.
Back to, you know.
That's the answer right there. That's a huge benefit. I was just talking to Donnie about that. Like, why were we still using codes? But correct me if I'm wrong. When you're playing Minecraft on Switch, like now I can just look up Rybo, like Rybo's name on his Xbox Live thing. Like, you don't have to worry about figuring all that out. You just connect whatever nonsense you've got in Nintendo Land and connect it to Xbox Live, and now I've got a searchable name. I can find it on all these platforms. Holy crap, dude.
Yeah, it's amazing, dude.
You just merge it all together. That's nuts. There's probably Kirby. I just say his name.
So that is all. Thank you guys for listening to today's episode of If We Ran Nintendo.
That was fun.
It was a lot of fun. Be sure to check out Mr. Sean Capri and everything he does on the internet. Go check him out over Twitter. Sean Capri, Sean like Connor, Capri like the pants. You can check me out over on Twitter as well, at Nintendo Gurus. Check me out on Instagram. I've been doing a lot of stuff on Instagram lately, promoting stuff, doing stuff. It's craziness, man. Go check it out. A lot of cool photos I've been taking. That is all. Peace out, Preston.
Guys, I'm going to have a Crackdown 3 review with Luke Lore on the Xbox Drive next Thursday. Bye, Preston. Ball.
Did you really just do that?
Yeah, I want to.
That's getting cut.
You're not cutting that shit.
It's cut. It's gone.